Are you all things to all people, leaving little time for yourself? Do you need help in balancing family, work, and life? If you answered yes, you're in the right place. I'll guide you through the steps to work-life balance. Let's start now.
This is day 2. I'm Sharon Weinstein, and I am delighted to welcome you to today's program. If you're on video, please show us your video. I'd love to see those faces. I'd love to see each and every one of you so that you can join in the conversation, join in the chats, and let us know what's happening in your lives. This will be really important as we advance through the program. So a special welcome to each and every one of you out there. We have individuals from probably 40 states who have registered for this program. For years, society has tried to assure ambitious young women that if they worked hard enough, they could juggle both a high demanding career and a family. However, Sheryl Sandberg, who's Facebook's COO, says otherwise. She admitted that balancing both worlds is extremely difficult. But it's a necessity if we want to have women, and especially women leaders, in the workforce. Women are the typical earth personality in ancient Chinese medicine. They do everything for everyone else before they do a thing for themselves. And the result is stress at the very highest level. So think about it. If you have kids, the lunches are made, the breakfasts are made, the laundry is done, the laundry is put away. Permission slips are signed if needed. And again, if they're little, you have time to snuggle with each and every one of them before you decide to call it a day. So at the end of a busy day, there is no time left for self-care, is there? And without it, stress escalates until we, as women, call a stop to the turmoil. We need to do better. My colleague, Candy Campbell, is on as a co-host with me today, and she'll be helping us with questions from the chat room. So if you have questions, please feel free to post them. Life is a balancing act, and family does matter. Long days, long shifts, long weeks, and multiple responsibilities. They pull you in multiple directions, don't they? There is so much to do, and there is so little time. Is all of this a cliche, or is it the truth? Is it reality? In today's healthcare environment, it seems that it is indeed our reality. It's a reality of the times in which we live, especially now with coronavirus. And it's a reality of our expansive scope of practice. So what are those challenges? What is it that we're looking at that is the problem? Because we all juggle. Some of us juggle better than others, but we all have personal and workplace issues. Nurses have multiple forms of stress, from an unrealistic workload to inadequate staffing and excessive paperwork, fluctuating schedules with changing shifts and mandatory overtime, floating without appropriate orientation, and moral and ethical dilemmas, such as that which we face when we have more patients than beds. Nurses see and feel it all. Additionally, if you're single and you have a young family, or if you're caring for aging parents, these are common life circumstances with unique psychosocial and logistical challenges. Many professionals have sought flexible, virtual arrangements in order to get balance within their own lives, but sometimes that just does not work. What can you do? What can we do? If you're caught within that sandwich generation, if you're caring for elderly parents, if you have young children at home, where do you go for support? How do you manage those family responsibilities? The more you face, the more you overcome. Is that how you're feeling today and every day? So family really does matter. We have to think about the whole concept of family. With family, we worry about our kids. We worry about daycare. We worry about aging parents. We worry about those relationships. We worry about the birthday parties and the events that we're going to miss because we are always working. What can we do to make it better? The American Institute of Stress identifies 4 main causes of workplace anxiety. Think about whether or not you have them. Workload at 46%. Conflicts with other people, 28%. Juggling personal and professional time, 20%. And lack of job security, 6%. Although to me, the greatest percent right now would be attributed to risk and safety. What about your health? Stress may very well be the health epidemic of the 21st century. It costs businesses over $300 billion per year as a result of absenteeism, reduced productivity level, and employee turnover. How can we make that better? What can we do to ensure that we're reducing stress and living the life that we really want to live? Presenteeism is productivity and a performance issue. So let's look at that. How do you know that you're at your very best? How do you know that you have the right equipment that you need to be safe? That equipment breakage is not a problem and that work-related accidents are not a problem? The answer to this question is complex, and it may depend on the job itself, the institution or the facility in which you work, the discipline of you as the employee, your rank within the institution or healthcare system, financial security, and perhaps the level of work involved. But we do have solutions. We know that it is in fact possible. Sometimes the most important thing in a whole day, think about it, is the rest that we take between 2 deep breaths. That's not my quote, and I attribute it to Eddie Hillesum. But it's an important quote because it's something that you and I and everyone within our circles needs to think about each and every day. How do you manage? What do you do? What is in fact possible? I'd like you to think about the power of 3. What does that mean? It means, is what is troubling you, is it that important that it will matter in 3 minutes, 3 days, 3 weeks, or more? Identify those things that must be done and those things that can wait. Identify the groups to which you must belong, the meetings that you must attend. If you're a council member in a magnet hospital, you must attend, but are those meetings taking place right now in today's environment? Think about the things for which you volunteer your time and your efforts. And even though there is so much to do and so little time, take time for yourself, and please make balance a part of your daily routine. You will thank yourself, and you know what? Those around you will thank you as well. Should you retire or should you rewire? I've been reading messages recently from nurses on social media who tell me that they are retired. For the first time in their lives, they see the importance of retiring in order to get that self-time. How do you make that decision? You make it based upon what's important to you. So first and foremost, to me, has always been what brings you joy. Articulate your vision. Create a bucket list of the things that you want to have done before the end of this year and next. You work after age 60. There are nurses who work through age 90. Will work be the same? If you change careers, will you be able to use your nursing platform for your next act? If you stop working, how will that impact you and your family, your finances, and your self-esteem? Can you turn your career into a voluntary career and use those nursing skill sets, those core skills and abilities, your time and your talent, to volunteer to help others? And are you and your life's partner on the same page. Think about those thoughts and then decide. Perhaps you can take family leave. You can create a plan and find support. When you ensure that the work gets done in your absence, you can have greater peace of mind while you're gone. Do you have an assistant or a support structure of some kind? Be flexible and transition back slowly from that leave. Ease back in following maternity or a family leave. And don't rush your return. Have you taken enough time with your kids, with your aging parents, with an ill family member? Be sure that you take the time that you need. Now, I've created a family leave checklist for those who really want to look at the option of perhaps having a leave. What do you need? Make sure that you have each and every one of these. You need a point person to manage your financials and check your email, even snail mail. You need an emergency template to email clients and prospects in your server. You need to determine and address current client disruption potential if you have clients or if you have patients or if you have other responsibilities, and you have to hand off any open projects to an appropriate party. You need to make sure that these things are done before you move on and do something else. One of the things that we can do that will help us with this whole concept of self-care is to avoid drowsy driving. Now, more than ever before, you're working incredible numbers of hours. And when you think about it, that makes you tired. If you work a double shift, if you work more than that 12-hour day and it extends into a 16-hour limit, you're tired. And in order to get home, perhaps you have to drive. You cannot drive and be tired, because we all know, consistent with the stages of sleep, that within seconds we can get into deep sleep and look at problems. So avoid alcohol and caffeine and sugar and spices, and stick to a daily routine. Exercise regularly. Remember, that was a high number on the polls. Block out distractions and practice being relaxed. Practice relaxation. Be sure that you stay hydrated. And hydration, by the way, does not mean tea and coffee. We know, you know, I know that hydration means regular drinking water. We need personal downtime. If you have a slow app or server, you reboot. If you have a slow body, what do? When your phone runs out of juice, you connect. You plug it in and recharge it. But what do you do with your most vulnerable commodity, the human body? Take advantage of sacred spaces. Take advantage of your sacred space. Meditate. Focus attention and your mind on something that makes you feel calm and relaxed. Use one of those apps on the phone. Think about giving yourself clarity about your life. And learn to laugh. How can you learn to laugh? In your workplace, in your home office, in your room, in your apartment. Spread streamers. Have a family photo collage that runs continuously on your device. Have a hanging mobile. Make music out of kitchen utensils. Cheer other people on. Promote the whole concept of positivity. Release your tension, release your stress, work that diaphragm, and don't be afraid to laugh. Laughter is, in fact, not only in the words of Patch Adams, laughter is good medicine. We all need it, and we should all apply it. So being self-aware is incredibly important, but self-awareness doesn't stop you from making mistakes. It allows you to learn from those mistakes. And that is probably the most important thing. Family matters. There are 5 steps that we need to think about. What are they? First, prioritize, strategize, communicate, share, and celebrate the good moments in your life, the happy times, the things that are creating joy, that are making you feel great. And what about your career? Are you, as a nursing professional, caught up in the balancing act, unable to do it all, even as an earth personality, unable to do it all and care for others as well as yourself? You are only as good as you are balanced. If you don't take the time for yourself, yes, even with the array of responsibilities pressuring you now, You will not be the best version of yourself. Your personal best includes you as a nurse, as a mom, as a wife, as a friend, as a partner, as a professional, as an educator, as a community leader. Your personal best represents you. That best will enable you to reach new heights in your career, to achieve your goals, and probably more important than that, to maintain your health, because that's what is truly, truly important. Stress is a killer. Remember that stress is costing us $300 billion a year. And there are ways, including the ways that I've already mentioned, ways that you can resource within your own practice that will help you to alleviate that stress and do better for yourself and for others. Now, I'd like to bring this session of Life is a Balancing Act to a close. This has been an ideal opportunity for us to share today our resources, our time, our talent, and our willingness as nursing professionals to be all that we can be within balance. Balance is within your reach. You're the one who needs to make that decision. You're the one with a full family responsibility and more who needs to take advantage of your time and your talent to be sure that you are in fact in balance. Thanks, and enjoy the rest of your Nurses Week. Thanks for being with us today.
You are on your way with 5 steps that ensure family balance. So let's prioritize, strategize, communicate, share, and celebrate. Then invite me to join you for your next celebration of nurses and nursing.